It's time now for a look at least in local sports. In sports, we begin with the Atlanta Braves, who unfortunately have been eliminated from the playoffs this year. The Phillies won the series 3-1 as they won last night. Advanced to play the Arizona Diamondbacks for the National League Championship Series in a trip to the World Series. That series begins on Monday in Philadelphia. It's a best-of-7. The American League Championship Series is set between Houston and Texas. Game one of that series begins Sunday night in Houston. The Wayne County Yellow Jacket football team gets ready for a big trip tonight to Pooler, Georgia, to take on New Hampstead, a key region game. Both teams sit at 1-1 in region play. Kickoff tonight, 7:30. Our coverage begins with the Wayne County Coaches Show at 6:30. Here's a portion of tonight's show in which Coach Shaw talks about this being the Jackets' third straight road trip. He says, fortunately, the team has gotten familiar with the routine.
It really does. Our guys have kind of gotten used to it by now. And then we pretty much can tell you, they can probably tell you their whole day on Friday, what time we're going to get out, where we're going to eat, what we're going to have to eat, what they're going to have to drink, and just the whole routine of things. We've done a nice job of handling these road trips. We really, that's one thing I think we've grown since last year of just how we as a program go about, walkthroughs, meetings, anytime we got a road trip, how we handle pregame meal, just the whole deal. I think we've obviously gotten a lot better from year one to year two. And then we've got a big one this week as far as a region on the road against a good football team, against a good coaching staff that I got a lot of respect for. So we've got, it goes back to all our keys, especially on the road when you play a really good team that, it's going to be another, I think they're a top 10 team capability that will mess around and be right there at the end of it. You got to start extremely fast. Don't let them get a lot of momentum to start the game. And then obviously you got to take care of the football. And those two things, when you're on the road, there's got to be a sense of urgency within those two things to start the ball game, and then same thing throughout the ball game. So got a huge challenge ahead of us, but we will certainly be back. Be glad to be back in JC Stadium next week.
And you can hear all Coach Jay Bushaw's comments tonight on the Wayne County Coaches Show. Again, it airs at 6:30 this afternoon. That leads into our pregame show at 7 from Puller. Then kickoff tonight, 7:30 p.m. After the game, be sure to stay tuned to the Oakland Associates postgame show as we'll talk with Coach Shaw after the game, get us comments about the contest. Once again, Friday Night Lights tonight here on Big Dog Country, FM 105.5 FM. Other region games this evening, Southeast Bullocks at Benedictine. The Islands takes on Burke. Other football games in the area. A key game tonight between Pierce at Toombs. Appling hosts Windsor Forest. Bradwell's at Ware County. Brantley hosts Vidalia. Camden hosts Colquitt. Coffee's at Statesburg. Glen Academy at Grovetown. Richmond Hill is at Valdosta. Again, all that taking place tonight in high school football. Super Regional and girls softball has been set. Again, it's going to take place on Wednesday. Wayne County, the number 1 seed, hosts 3 other teams. They are set: Shaw, Spalding, and LaGrange High School. The number 2 seed is LaGrange. Number 3 seed is Shaw. Number 4 seed is Spalding. 4 games beginning Wednesday at 1 p.m. at the Barbara Strickhoff softball field. The first game is LaGrange and Shaw. Then at 3 p.m., Wayne County takes on Spalding. The 2 losers play at 5. The 2 winners play at 7. The event concludes on Thursday with the first game Thursday beginning at 2 p.m. Tickets for the games available on GoFan.com beginning Monday of next week. A 1-day pass is $12. A 2-day pass is $20. WIFO will be broadcasting all Wayne County games. Again, our first game Wednesday at 3 p.m. The winner of the Super Regional punches their ticket to Columbus and will be in the Elite 8. There's only 8 teams make it to Columbus, Georgia. Again, it all begins on Wednesday at the Barbara Strickhoff softball field. Cross-country teams in action yesterday down in Brunswick in an event called Run the Plank. Heavy rain produced a wet and muddy course. Samuel Steele once again finished first for the Wayne County team, placing 24th overall out of 178 kids. Colton Reck, Jed Townsend, Tristan Yarber had strong performances, placing 34th, 41st, and 43rd. Lady Yellow Jackets finished in 6th as well. Ashlyn Pittman placed 17th. Anaya Wallace placed 52nd. And Caitlin Cancino placed 54th in that race yesterday down in Brunswick, Georgia. The JV football game was canceled yesterday. This Saturday, our Wayne County varsity volleyball team enters area tournament play, hoping to advance to state. They need 1 win at this event to get to state. They'll be on the road at New Hampstead. The event begins Saturday at 10 a.m. Also Saturday, the competition cheer teams will be on the road to Vidalia for competition. Rick's scoreboard from last night in 8U football, it was Hammer Time 6, Raiders 2. In 10U football was the Bulldogs 13, Wildcats 7. 8U soccer, it was Gundas 2, Aldridge 1. Pease 6, Cook 0. Graham and Ward tied 1-1. Odom 2, Williams 4. Westbury and Jern tied 2-2. 10U soccer, it was Odom and Purcell tying 2-2. Wingate beat Winalski 7-zip. McDonald beat Vasquez 2-0, and Graham and Gundas tied 2-2. 12U soccer, Marino Cruz 4, Hubbard 0. Wingate 2, Harris 1. And in 14U soccer, it was Banks 2, Too Good 0. College football this weekend, Georgia, the number 1 team in the country, will be taking on Vanderbilt. That game set for 12 noon. Georgia Tech has an open date, and Georgia Southern action Saturday at 12 noon at James Madison. That game can be heard here on Big Dog Country FM 105.5 FM. Other college games, Notre Dame hosts USC, Oregon and Washington. Tennessee hosts Texas A&M, Kentucky hosting Missouri, South Carolina hosting Florida, LSU takes on Auburn, Alabama at Arkansas, FSU, Syracuse, Miami, North Carolina, and Ohio State and Purdue. NFL last night, Kansas City defeated Denver 19-8. Chiefs 5-1, Broncos now 1-5. On Sunday, the Falcons are in Atlanta. Kickoff 1 p.m. They take on the Washington Commanders. That game on FM 105.5 FM. Jaguars host Indianapolis at 1 p.m. That game on AM 1370. Colts starting quarterback is Gardner Minshew, the former Jaguar quarterback. Colts number 1 draft pick Anthony Richardson out of Florida got hurt last week. Hurt his shoulders. He's out for several weeks, so Gardner Minshew takes over, returns to Jacksonville as the Colts starting quarterback. Finally, in sports, the annual J.D. Memorial Golf Tournament is set for this Saturday. Full field signed up. Tee time 8:30. The problem is all the rain. The decision about the Pine Forest Country Club will be made later today on whether that event can be held. And we'll have that update during the high school football broadcast. Once again, the decision on whether the tournament can be held with all the rain will be made later today. That's going to do it for latest in local sports.